So, welcome all to the Dave DY Show. Hey, YouTube. I'm back again after a little bit off and a couple videos on the road. Another mass shooting, this time in New Zealand, at a mosque, live streamed on Facebook, shared on YouTube Live, viewed on Reddit. 49 people are confirmed dead. New Zealand doesn't have a large community of Muslims. If you know what a mosque is, unlike a church or, I don't know, I can't recall a synagogue. It's sort of just a square room where you can lay carpets down, you can face wherever to the west, and you can say your prayer. Very personally, right? Laying on your carpet on your knees, being able to bow and do whatever you do when you're Muslim. This guy parks his car on a street, any street you'd see it. It's just near a church, a mosque. It's got a white wall around it, a concrete wall with, some wrought iron or whatever, some design. He pops up the back of his little hatchback. Apparently driving over, he filmed all this. The camera that he used was a head cam. It looked like a GoPro. It looked like it was being filmed by a GoPro or a knockoff being worn on your head. Or maybe the chest. I don't know. It looked a bit elevated looking down. And I say this because you can watch the video. They've tried to take it offline. It's something like 7 or 8 minutes out of a 13 or 15 minute shooting spree. The gentleman talks. There was shit posted on 8chan, I guess, which is a super radical hybrid of 4chan, and some idiot that runs it with really grotesque, controversial, inflammatory, very, off statements and views. And that's always existed. It's always existed, and it will always exist. You have outliers that are on the outer bands, man, in any group, in any society, anywhere. And it can be for any variable or variables or factors. They could be mentally unstable. They could be damaged mentally, physically. They could be drug and alcohol abusers. They could be environmentally tainted. Behaviorally, they could have abuse. They could have anything that you can ever think of in life. And then unknowns that we just don't know why people, usually men, are the way they are. Toward violence, toward aggression, toward anger and hatred, and toward a group of teenagers, a group of affluent kids, a group of executives, a group in power, a group of religious churchgoers, a group of sexual classified individuals, heterosexual, homosexual, gays, lesbians, bisexuals, transsexuals. Anything that you can think of anymore has been some source and a possible target in our recent past for some kind of expressed violence, expressed aggression. No one's unique. And you can't point that out and go, that's why. When things like these occur, we always go back to the innately human aspect of why. Why did this happen? And then why turns into how and who and what, and then This can't happen again. We need to stop this. These are all fundamentally normal human reactions. They're normal when we learn. They're normal in the way that our brains and our senses process and input. And there's nothing wrong with any of it. And there's nothing right with any of it. It's just human. And some nut job, very calculated. So you say nut job. And when I say nut job, that's somebody that I say is not normal or sane. They're nuts. They're insane. But this gentleman seems far from insane. He seems calculated. As I said, he opens his hatchback. He's got camera. He's got combat gear on. He's got gloves. Everything that this dude does is calculated. And of course, he's some white New Zealander. And I think you hear him speak in the live stream. He said, it's a bad day for you, mates. Some shit like that. Well, why would an individual do that? Why have they done that? And there can be any reason. Clearly, this individual was not in the realm of reality as we live it. He's in some other reality where he felt compelled to systematically kill 50 people in a span of 10 minutes. Actually, about 6 minutes. And there's so many correlations and so many thoughts that you can have and so much shit that goes through your head. You know, and then the fault and then the horror of it and the how can this happen and why did it happen and why do they allow that and who didn't and what and it's question after question. And I'm not related to any of these people. I don't know any of them. And I will never know any of them. They're dead. And you won't meet their families. You might watch some of it on news. This guy's incarcerated. They captured him and put him in jail. I don't get that. If you're so compelled to kill a bunch of people and yet you still value your life, there's something else underlying there. That's not depression. That's not being agnostic. That's not being a nihilist with nothing. And a lot of people have compared some of these acts to nihilists, people that no longer value anything other than destruction, death, violence. This guy had a very specific goal. He had writing on the firearms. He looked like he was trained. It was execution style. It was explicitly planned. I don't even know. I think he was breathing heavy. He ran a couple times. He scanned the perimeter. He shot in directions of the perimeter. The guy seemed like he was a combat expert, or at least had training. And he walked into a fucking church with a bunch of peaceful people dressed in their simple Sunday, Saturday, Friday clothes whenever we celebrate at Mosque, and he just wiped them. Started with a shotgun. It looked like an automatic shotgun. Dropped that. Picked up like what looked to be a 7.62, like a NATO weapon, man, off of, I'm telling you right now, the fucking video games I've watched my adult life, my sons and other children play. It looked like modern warfare. Had the scopes, had the reticle scopes, everything about this. It looked like a goddamn game. And the people died, like on the game. They dropped. And this nut job dropped some clips, went into a room, cleared the room. Everyone scattered to corners. He wasted them. One gentleman in this guy's head cam comes at him. And I don't know if he was going to rush him or if he was trying to get by him. And he almost gets this motherfucker. He's on him. And the dude turns and kills him. Because the guy had no handguns. These were all long guns. He had what looked to be like AK-47s. They were all large bore military weapons, man. The shotgun was a full shotgun. It wasn't sawed off. Again, I don't think he even pumped. And then this thing thumped. Dud, dud, dud. Ah, dude, come on. Those rounds at close range blow holes as big as fucking melons in you. The shock of the impact alone knocks you unconscious. Then he walked back out to his car, dropped that fucking thing, and picked up what looked to be a short firearm. A short rifle. Semi-automatic, same thing. And kept finishing the job. This one had a scope on it, a longer scope, it looked like. Who cares? This fucking guy was prepared and systematic. He had music playing in his hatchback. It sounded like military music, like drum and fife shit. Where the fuck was this dude's mind? Who knows? Clearly wasn't in reality. And clearly he had an issue with Muslims. And I don't know if it was with this mosque, with these people, from the news, if it was from personal experience, if it was from his travels abroad, if he was in the military, if he lost his best friends. If. Doesn't matter. And it's not the gun's fault. The guns didn't do that. And he had a whole slew of them, and he acted well. That government, New Zealand did it. That guy was trained. Yeah, society did it. As humanity on the whole, we continue to fight wars. There's no answer on this one. And you're never removing the guns, and you're never removing the violence. And for some weird reason with this motherfucker, it's bringing it all right to us. And God, we gobble it up. And it's fun when you live stream. I'm doing this right now. I'm creating a video about me and the things that interest me and how I feel. For myself, but also by putting it out on some fucking environments for other people to view. This guy felt compelled to systematically kill 50 people in a live stream. Like a fucking video game. And that's what it looked like. Like I hit restart. That simple. It's not one thing. It's our entire fabric of society that has taken us to this. And if you're that myopic and that simple-minded and that silly, where you pick a topic and you go, that's the problem, you're wrong. It's a culminated effort of centuries that have come to this point for that event to occur in that fashion. And this individual, in the format that he approached and took, to publicly kill 50 people for some statement or reason. And he's now in jail, and I bet you he's fine. I bet he did exactly what he intended. Mission accomplished. Outstanding. Everybody behind this fucking camera. How do you reason with that one? What's the real detail on that one? He's crazy. There ain't one statement that covers any of that. There's no answer for this one. There's probably answers. There's probably experiences. There's probably a whole fucking slew of stuff for somebody to take that kind of approach. But it ain't simple, it ain't quick, and it ain't easy. And if you think any of that, you're simple. You're foolish. And that's what ails this God-blessed globe right now, in some degree. And this thing right here, and my ability to upload it, or my ability to live stream it, and everybody watched it, and they posted it on YouTube, and they reposted it on Reddit, and it sat out there for a half an hour, and nobody did a thing. All my fucking friends at Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, worried about his goddamn brand. How did they not shut that shit down? Don't know. Should he be responsible for a part of it? Fuck yeah. That platform should be responsible for live streaming that shit everywhere. Not the act, showing everybody that it happened. Is that the reason why this guy did it? Maybe something. Does that mean that they're liable? Absolutely not. It's just another fucking tool. If the guy grabbed a saw or a drill or a Ford or a Chevy and killed people with it, are they responsible? Absolutely not. Oh, your car should have a system that doesn't allow you to drive over people. Absolutely not. You can't safeguard life. And responsibility falls solely on this man. Solely on this man. And if you don't understand that, that's where the issues begin to arise. It's not governments, it's not gun makers, it's not churches, it's not parents, it's every part of that. And then the reactions and the actions of this one person. Or the group. If the guy's in a group, some kind of white supremacist neo-Nazi, we got them here too. They're everywhere. They always have been. They always will be. Outliers, man. Fringe. There's a bell curve. This guy's on the far end of that bell curve, on the radical side. And he got guns, and he got training, and he wasn't completely dysfunctional, disabled, and unable to act, and he killed 50 people. And it is a horror. And not only did he kill 50 people, we all get to witness it. Like, wow! He's playing Modern Warfare. He's playing Battlefield. Oh, look, he switched guns. Oh, look, he killed all those people. This guy went back into the mosque multiple times and removed the victims. He shot into the piles of bodies. He checked his clips. He picked up clips that he dropped, reloaded them. This guy was clear thinking. Was he in reality? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he was in a war with the fucking Muslims at the mosque. They sure weren't prepared. They all died. Yeah, another horror, and we sit and we ask, now what? And there ain't no now what. Those poor fucking people that probably have nothing. It looked like your common middle or lower class individuals. Maybe not, maybe middle class. There were a lot of cars. It looked clean. People looked like they had nice clothes on. It looked like a community of people with families and love. And children and adults and older folks. Practicing a religion. Again, 2019, March 15th, 2019, people are murdered for their beliefs and practices. That's stunning. And it will continue. It always will. It's human. In whatever methodology. A bomb, a truck down a street, an individual with firearms, a machete-wielding maniac, a military force, and an army. None of it justified. It's never justified. So, I don't know. I don't know what my reaction is on this. It's horror. It's horrible. And to be able to see the video is even more horrible. And I don't profess that you should view it. There's a grotesqueness about it. We've all known this, right? You drive by the accident, you want a rubberneck to see the dead body. That's part of human too. And you can have guilt about it or not. I don't know. You can measure whatever the fuck you want. That's what we are and that's what we do. There's a curiosity for death. There's a curiosity for events. We always have had that. We always will have that. And you can try to curb that and say it's not proper or whatnot. That's why this guy live streamed it. That's why people watched it. That's the event. That's the spectacle. That's why we have the movies we have with comic book heroes that can't die. With World War II stories about people getting blown up, dismembered, killed, the violence, the horror, the war, the rape, the pillage. It's a part of our fiber. It's a part of how we've lived and how this planet has grown and cultivated itself through violence. Yeah, it's human. And that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make it any worse. It's tragic. It's a horror. It's occurred. And I'm left with questions. That's all I'm left with. Questions and sadness. And I don't even know if I have astonishment or shock. And it's not shock. We all have shock, but it's more callousness. It's another event. Yeah. So that's where I am today. I'm not going to drone on about this. Say a prayer as those folks put their loved ones in the ground or whatever they do. And let's be thankful that this didn't happen at our church or at our club or at our meeting place or at our house or our neighborhood. And kiss your kids and your husbands and your wives and your boyfriends and your girlfriends and love the people that are with you and realize that you're here another day. What are you doing? How do we make it better? Remove yourself from this God-blessed, I don't know what this is, attached, addictive anchor. Pull yourself out of that. Pull yourself out of this. Interact with people. Have conversations. Give them hugs. Share love. Share friendship. Share fun. Share laughter. Share learning. Share exercise, activity. Those folks will no longer do any of that. Share your religion. Share your beliefs. And don't let this act sway you in any way, shape, or form from your beliefs, what you know is right. And don't let it darken you. These acts are so stark and they're broadcast and they're captured in a manner that makes them so brutal, and they are so real, and they are so encompassing and devouring. For some of us, they bring darkness and depression, and you don't need that. It wasn't us. It wasn't you. We lost no one we knew or loved. We were blessed again today. And those poor folks, they are not blessed today. A horrible act destroyed a ton of lives over there. And that community is going to have to try to recover. For us, we read about it and we can be thankful. And continue our onward fight and evolution and growth and learning. Dave DY Show, out.